Bula, I'm DJ Toro. Join me every Monday to Thursday, 7 until midnight. The premium classics on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Tonight, Air Vanuatu claims Fiji Airways isn't dealing in good faith over code-share negotiations. No more overcrowded correction centres thanks to a new remand centre in Suva. An increasing demand for space for the elderly at Home of Compassion. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spade and you're watching FBC News. Fiji Airways has announced a profit before income tax of $18 million for the financial year ending March 2013. This is the second consecutive year for the national carrier to make a profit after record losses 3 years ago. And joining us live from Nandi is Christopher Chan to give us more. Chris.
Thanks, Jackie. Air Pacific Group, which includes Pacific Sun and Sofitel Fiji Resort and Spa operations, recorded an after-tax profit of $17.8 million. Fiji Airways board chairman Nalin Patel says they had initially expected to make a loss and are pleased with the results for 2012 and 2013. Patel says these results beat their business plan and they continue to be thrilled with the successful turnaround of the Fijian national airline. He says just 3 years ago they had experienced the worst loss in the airline's history. Attorney General and Minister for Aviation Ayaz Sayed Kayum says Fiji Airways is a national success story. Sayed Kayum says the dramatic turnaround of the airline is an accomplishment by a focused management team and dedicated workers all pulling in the same direction.
And still with Fiji Airways, a regional airline is claiming that our national carrier is dictating traffic into Nandi. Despite a fallout over code sharing last year, Air Vanuatu is hoping to renew relations with Fiji Airways after fresh talks last week. Christopher Chand again.
Last December, Fiji Airways, or Air Pacific as it was known back then, terminated its code-share agreement with Air Vanuatu and later sent a directive that it couldn't partner with Solomon Airlines.
We thought that with the arrangement between the airline and the South Pacific, we can work together, especially within the MSG group. And here again, that's another blow for us. We couldn't really work with Solomon Airlines to really co-chair on the Port Vila Nandi or Port Vila Fiji route.
According to Joseph Laloya, this doesn't provide a level playing field for nations considered brothers under the Melanesian Spearhead Group umbrella. The relationship between the two airlines got worse when Fiji Airways launched its own flights to Port Vila from Nosori in direct competition.
Certainly something that we would not expect. We have a long-term relationship, the two governments, Fiji and Vanuatu, and the two airlines have a very good relationship for a long time. We were a bit upset in the way things were going.
In response to our questions, Fiji Airways states they are continuing dialogue with other airlines on a number of issues and code-share arrangements are part of it. Air Vanuatu hopes recent negotiations will find a solution.
This time Fiji Airways changed the mindset they have about 6-7 months ago. It seems that they are also looking in the same direction, which is a change in the mindset.
While talks are progressing, the neighboring airline hopes Fiji Airways sees them as a regional partner rather than a competitor. Christopher Chan, FBC News.
Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama this morning opened the new remand centre in Suva. The facility cost around $11 million and is expected to ease overcrowding in correction centres. Apisalame Dokar reports.
This new remand centre with a capacity of 200 is a relief for the Fiji Correction Services.
All facilities weren't up to scratch. It's no secret that there is severe overcrowding at corrections institutions in the country, and this issue has called for action.
For years, people complained of unhygienic conditions, lack of space and general disrepair. The Suva Remand Center meets international standards and best practices that must be adhered to and upheld.
Another is to make sure that remand prisoners are not mixed in with convicted criminals. The legal concept of innocent until proven guilty is a cornerstone of our legal system, and it is something that should be reflected in our prison system.
The facility is also close to the Suva courthouse, so those with ongoing trials can be transported to their hearings more easily and securely.
Truly, this is a facility that we can all be proud of, because it represents a new standard for a new Fiji. But it's not cause for celebrations just yet. I have been informed that for the past 6 months, the number of remand inmates has hovered around the 430 mark, which is double the capacity of this new facility.
The remand center will cater for charged but unconvicted men and women between Suva to Nausori. Apisolom Medoka, FBC News.
Krishnaswamy Naidu, the man who was missing for over a month, was cremated today in Riketi, Lautoka. Friends and family gathered at his home on Vatua Road in Samambula this morning to pay their last respects before he was taken to Lautoka. In a case that grabbed national attention, Naidu and his employee Ella Blakelock were missing for a month after a business trip to Lautoka. The vehicle they were traveling in was eventually pulled out of a river in Vakambalea Navua last Friday. Police say a post-mortem confirmed they died of injuries consistent with the road accident. Police are still trying to determine the timeline of events that led to the accident. Ella Blakelock's funeral is in Nasinu tomorrow. The Home of Compassion in Suva will soon have a new wing and other renovations to cater for more residents. Shireen Lata reports.
There are 22 elderly citizens living at the Home of Compassion. Management have decided it's time to increase their capacity because of the increasing requests for admissions.
We find we are getting telephone calls requesting that we can look after an elderly person from the family, and every week we're turning people away. So we are quite concerned that there is a great need here in Fiji, and particularly for nursing care, complete care, and that's what we do.
Annette Green says they are turning to solar energy systems and environmentally friendly construction ideas for techniques.
At the moment, we don't have service facilities. We will have a new staff room, a new dispensary, new laundry and more facilities for the nursing staff so that they can do their job better. And we give 24-hour care.
The home will be taking in 11 more people at the end of the extension work. Green says one of their disappointments is that people leave their loved ones at the facility and rarely contribute to their care.
Most of our people are unable to contribute money, but they can sometimes with food, vegetables from their gardens, or if they go fishing and bring fish in, that's a really big gift to us, and that often happens.
Residents to the home have always been selected according to those with greater needs, and there is no discrimination against any race or religion. This new extension project is expected to meet the demand of caregiving in the country. Shatin Lata, FBC News.
After the break, Suva's potential as a tourist destination continues to grow.
How would you like to spend your morning? You could spend your morning like this. Or you could spend it like this.
Tune in to The Morning Ride every weekday morning from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. right here on Today FM, Today's Hit Music.
Nimbula, methango nimilote na isoro tambua. Nama kia umena rua kina ona na veka vi moniti kina wakarambuka. Rongo mena via sama kina viva ka barota kinin reko malolo. Ena Radio Fiji One na wongani pioniano. Ngai nama kia kina.
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. The 4G spectrum auction continued today at the Department of Communications in Suva. 8 lots are still available. Digicel and Telecom Fiji are bidding for lots 9 to 12. No winners were announced today and bids will open again tomorrow. The exercise will continue until Friday. Mobile giants Vodafone Fiji have exited the auction after acquiring 6 lots. Handicraft dealers, taxi drivers and other service providers in Suva have been commended for giving their best to tourists getting off cruise ships. As Ritika Pratap reports, there's been a notable change from past experiences of tourists being harassed by sword sellers or being overcharged by local taxi drivers.
About 28 cruise liners have visited Suva in the first 6 months of this year, and many more are expected in the coming months. Special Administrator Chandu Umaria says they've had good feedback thanks to everyone playing their part.
Especially the police is very active, if I can say, that when the cruise liners come in, they are making sure that the tourists are not hassled, they are guided. At the same time, taxi drivers, we are having a lot of consultation with taxi drivers, we are having a lot of consultation with the retailers, with the short sellers, shoe shine boys.
It's not enough for Umaria though. He wants Suva to make an even bigger impact with visitors.
Do a marketing of Fiji to other people that tourists can come in here.
With new shopping complexes, Suva can market itself as a shopping destination, and beautifying the city can add to that traction.
Like the Nambuklau Creek is one, the Terry Walk. The next one we'll be doing is the Harbour Centre frontage, which is council property. And the next one, like I said, one is as soon as the sewer market, this development goes up, the fish market will be relocated. So in other words, people coming from the wharf, they will have a lot of beautiful gardens and walkways where the fish market is, then Tapu City, then you come to the Terry Walk and the Harbour Centre.
A total of 60 cruise ships with thousands of tourists are expected in Suva by the end of 2013. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The 2013 Aon Excellence in Tourism Awards will feature 2 new categories for the first time. The announcement was made at the launch this morning, where the Back of the House and Services and Support to the Industry Awards were revealed. These 2 new categories will recognize individuals and companies that have demonstrated exceptional service. The service and support to industry is being introduced for operators that don't necessarily fall into the traditional tourism sector, while the Back of the House is for staff who are not in the front line.
For argument's sake, we have a frontliner award, which you might all know is for somebody who performs exceptionally in the front line. And now we have a category for this year, which is the Back of the House. And this is to recognize somebody who is not up front, but doing a fantastic job behind the scenes.
Fiji Broadcasting Corporation is a partner for the Tourism Awards, which will be held next year on February 21st. Time to welcome Jamie on this Tuesday night, and you were saying the hype is building for the Escort Shield.
Yes, it is, Jackie, and after the break, we see how the defending champions are building up for the semi-finals tomorrow. Also tonight, the success story of weightlifting carries on. Stay with us for this and more.
Isang bulan binaka, nadang gawa di soni nalay, nama kyo mani wasin ngono borota kina lali ne kabi, may natolo kina bitu, enamoni tingina por rombuka, enambula FM, nabandua na serre.
सूरज की पहली किरण के साथ दिन की शुरुआत कीजिए। सुबह का मंगल प्रभात आपको शुभ हो। सुबह सुबह हो खुशियों का मेला, ना लोगों की परवाह ना दुनिया का झमेला, पंछियों का संगीत हो और मौसम अलबेला, मुबारक हो आपको ये खूबसूरत सवेरा। हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक सुबह 6 से लेकर 9 बजे तक शामिल रहें रेडियो फिजी 2 पर हम सफर में रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।
Welcome back to FBC Sports. First up tonight, Fiji Mbati Rugby League hopeful Jason Bukuya could be heading to 6 months on the sidelines for taking performance-enhancing drugs. The revelation comes as the Daily Telegraph in Australia named Bukuya as one of the 6 players from the Cronulla Sharks who have been in discussions with Australian Sports Anti-Doping Authority to accepting 6-month suspensions. This comes after the Sharks got involved in a drug scandal earlier in the year. The Navy rugby side will take on DHL Raiwanga tomorrow in a repeat of last year's Escort Shield semi-finals. But the defending champions could face a setback as they may miss some key players. Talenda Vakadaka reports.
It will be a repeat of last year's Escort Shield semis when Navy battles old foes Raiwanga. That game was marred by several cards being shown for foul play. Navy will be looking to avoid this in the latest encounter.
I think it's a repeat of last year's semi-final, and emphasize to the boys that we have to play mental preparation more than on the ground. Because on the ground, I think both teams are faring well, but I think it's a mental preparation that is more important to us.
A major setback for the team is that they could miss some key players that featured for Suva in the Digicel Cup competition. Manasa Solo, Vesira Rawa and Ili Tomasi Nawalu may sit out the game tomorrow after picking up injuries in the game against Nandi over the weekend.
At the moment we have 10 rubber players in the Suva team, but I think we will be playing about 5 of them, as most of them are injured and they need to have a rest.
Despite this hiccup, there is no doubt that there will be some fireworks in tomorrow's semis. Talendo Takataka, FBC Sports.
The Suva rugby side travels to Theodore Park this weekend to face Vatukola in the Digicel Cup, who after recent performances have been tagged as the Giant Killers. Suva will be a changed team though after its hard-fought battle against Nandi left it with injuries to key players. But coach Salimoni Ravovo knows too well the importance of winning this game. Shelvin Chan reports.
Suva wants to win their last Digicel Cup match and reaffirm their position in the last 4 heading into the semi-final.
Taking this game lightly, Salvi. It's the last game, and they just up from beating Lutok, and they know they want to repeat that against Suva. So we're very serious about this game.
Last Saturday, it was a hard-fought battle against Nandi with top players joining the casualty list.
You get injured, you have replacement. We'll miss that. We'll miss the experience of Modet Tandra and Savi Tambakanalangi, our money men. And you know that we've got that the young boy who played the last week, number 6.
This Saturday, Suva travels to Theodore Park. The capital side has enjoyed home games for more than a month now.
It's a must win for us this week. You see on the points table, everything is very close. All the teams are closing in. So it's important for Suva.
Suva is now placed second on the Digicel Cup table, and they want a win to ensure a home semi-final. Shelvin Chen, FBC Sports.
The Ink Mobile Battle of the Giants fixtures have been released by the Fiji Football Association. The games get underway at Subriel Park in Lambasa on August 10th, with defending champions Mba taking on Nandrunga. A week later, the tournament proper moves to Mba from August 16th to the 18th. Meanwhile, the final rounds of the Fiji Sun GP Batteries National Football League will be played starting on Thursday, with Suva taking on Rewa at the ANZ Stadium and games continuing through to the last round on Sunday. Fiji football is looking forward to an exciting end to the competition.
It's what we had expected, that the league will become formidable as we have changed the format a little bit and all those things. And this becomes really exciting for the fans and everything. And most important, the matches that's there. And it's, if you see the points table on the top 4 of teams, it's really close. And that means that teams are taking seriously in the National League.
Weightlifting Fiji's Pacific Mini Games gold medal prospects Apollonia Vaivai and Tevita Tuwai are back at training in New Caledonia. The duo left our shores yesterday and will spend 2 weeks of intense preparations at the Oceania Weightlifting Institute in Numea. As Elena McDonald reports, their efforts away from home is just as crucial as work being done in Levuka.
From humble beginnings come great things. That's exactly what's happening with top weightlifters from the old capital. The new gym is drawing nearer to its completion, and from those who the old jungle gym has produced so far, imagine how effective the new one will be once fully operational.
The size of the old gym is 24 by 16. It caters for close to 40 lifters. So this new gym is 3 times bigger than our old gym. So it can cater like more than 100 lifters.
Hype is building, especially with all the grease elbow being done by the lifters themselves and ardent supporters.
Most of the lifters here, the one who's giving their time, and most of the parents and supporters of this village, Corvo in Mbamba, they are the one who's helping out in building this weightlifting center.
Apart from Vai Vai and Tuwai, 2 more lifters are preparing for the mini games in Wallace and Futuna.
Going from here is Penny Tawai, Penny Tangua, and Malani Seruaya, which will be lifting in the 48 kg. One of them is schooling and one is a school teacher. So
4 years after being established, most lifters may have outgrown the compact jungle gym, but it will still remain a favorite for those just starting out. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
That's it from sports. Good evening.
In the past 6 months, the Consumer Council of Fiji has received 111 landlord tenancy complaints. Chief Executive Pramila Kumar says complaints include landlords not issuing receipts upon rent payment, failing to refund deposits or bonds, increasing rent despite the freeze and no provision for tenancy agreement, and failing to repair the premises. However, landlords are complaining that tenants are failing to return the keys because of personal grievances. She says tenants hold on to the keys so that landlords will refund the deposit or bond. Tenants who hold on to the keys after vacating a flat are liable to pay rent. Weather time now. Looks like it's going to be sunny for the next few days, Jen.
Yes, Jackie, the clouds do seem to have lifted across the country. It's still going to be a bit cloudy though in Suva and Savasavu, but I think we've gotten used to it by now. Suva had the lowest temperature today, 25 degrees. Nandi, Ba and Savasavu followed closely behind on 26. Mombasa is several degrees ahead on 32. And just so you know, cold winds hitting Fiji from the south are the reason for our low temperatures. Another day of brilliant sunshine tomorrow, and I am so grateful. A nice long walk in the sun should help keep these cold conditions at bay. Lambasa, you're in the spotlight tonight. This is a sunset over the Lambasa River, and we have Priya Narayan to thank for that. If you'd like to see your photos on the screen behind me, send them in to Citizens Eyes at fbc.com.fj. We appreciate all the photos we've gotten so far, and we'd love to see more. That's weather. Till the next photo, stay safe and stay smiling.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. The top stories once again. Fiji Airways has had another successful year, posting after-tax profit of $17.8 million. Air Vanuatu claims Fiji Airways isn't dealing in good faith over codeshare negotiations, and no more overcrowded correction centre thanks to a new remand centre in Suva. This week's opinion poll question: given the problems with Tavua soccer, we're asking, should Fiji FA combine Tavua soccer with Vatukola? Visit our FBC website www.fbc.com.fj to have your say. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That was your news tonight. Until tomorrow, Nisa Monde.
आपकी शादी होने वाली है। 5 बच्चे होंगे। 5 हाय, मैं हूँ आपकी सहेली रेनू। सुनते रहिए मिर्ची FM। मैं हूँ ना 9 से 12 बजे तक।